Welcome, everybody. So, today we've been blessed with a Gran Turismo update, which most importantly brought a bunch of cars. But what's even more important than that is that they've brought the Mission X to Gran Turismo, which is allegedly going to be the 918 successor, which came out in 2013. And since all the other two hypercars have already come out from McLaren and Ferrari, Porsche is going to hop on the bandwagon to complete the modern day Holy Trinity, which, in my opinion, is very flawed, considering that the F80 is a V6. The McLaren W1 has still stayed true to its roots, as the P1 was a hybrid V8 and the W1 is also a hybrid V8. But the Porsche Mission X, worst of all, is all electric. But it's not a bad car, and for it being in Gran Turismo now, I feel like this is like a vision of the foreseeable future on how the real Mission X is going to drive once that comes out in a couple of years. So today we're doing a test. We're going to compare the 918 to the Mission X to see how well the two are and my opinions on which one I think is better. So without wasting any time, we're going to get back into it and we're going to do a series of tests. Stay tuned. So basically, this is just going to be one big comparison test, the 918 versus the Mission X. And we're going to be doing a couple tests. First of all, we're going to do a top speed test to see which one gets there the fastest and which one has a faster top speed. Not only that, we're going to be doing a track test along with, I think there's a drift test involved. I don't remember, but you'll see in the video. So, to first start off, most importantly, we're going to review the specs of both of the cars first. So the 918, which is the predecessor to the Mission X, has 874 horsepower with the maximum rev limit of 8,500 RPMs. It's four-wheel drive, 4,593 cc's. That's the displacement, and it has 943 foot-pounds of torque, which is it's kind of on the low end, but if you think about it, a diesel truck has more than that, and it just weighs 3,600 pounds, which for an NAV8 is pretty crazy. But it's also a hybrid, so I can understand why there's that extra weight, which it's kind of heavy for a hypercar, but it is as expected. Now with this EV Mission X. There's no really that much stats to display other than that the performance points is at 836 stock and it has 1,341 horsepower, and it doesn't show me a maximum torque stats or weight or even displacement. It's a rear engine, rear drive car. That's what it says on there, RR. So it's a rear wheel drive car, and it's an electric vehicle, and that's pretty much all the stats it gives me. So not really that helpful in terms of stats, but that's about it. So to get it on with the test, we're going to see which one is better right about now. So now that we are on the top speed test, it is to see which car can get to the top speed the fastest and which car has the fastest top speed. Now for both of the cars, we're on sport soft tires. Until we get to the racetrack, we would put racing soft tires on. But for now, the 918 is getting up there really fast. I feel like it would do 200 no problem. I think my other 918 can do 240, but that's unfair because I have some mods done to it. So this is a fully stock 918 that I just bought for the purpose of filming this video, and it's actually pretty impressive how fast this car gets up and goes. There's really no effort really here. It's like insane to see it go, and I have a feeling this will be faster than the electric Mission X. And with that being said, it hit a top speed of 220 miles per hour as soon as it got to the 2,000-meter mark, and braking was really impressive. I'm really impressed with the brakes here. Ah, yes, the Mission X, my next victim here on this track. But as they all say, a microwave cooks faster, but a barbecue tastes better. And that's very much true, as this electric car is very quick, but it's not fast. It easily gets up to its top speed, as you can see there. But yeah, it's not really all that impressive. The only thing impressive about it is its design, but it's not as engaging as the 918 where you can shift gears. Unlike the Mission X, you're stuck in drive, and that's about it. But with that being said, does have a slower top speed of 206 miles per hour, unlike the 918 with its 220 mile per hour top speed. So, but the braking is actually pretty much on par. It's a lot better than the 918. So, I don't know. I'm not sure who wins this segment, but I will let you guys decide on that. Now comes our drift test. Now, first things first, the Mission X, with it being apparently rear wheel drive, allegedly, according to the statistics page, it doesn't really feel like it's rear wheel drive. It feels like it's all wheel drive, and I can't get a torque vectoring kit for it to customize whether I can make it all wheel drive or rear wheel drive. I can't do any of that. So I was clearly struggling trying to drift here, and it's really hard to, and you can't really drift like really big corners. You can only do like the small little turns and whatever else is what I was really able to get at there. But for the most part, it can drift. You just really got to know how to control your throttle and don't like gas the throttle too much, or you'll end up like losing control and you might crash. But yeah, overall, I would not recommend it. Yeah, it's bad. So with the 918, it's hard to drift too, but the good thing about it is that I can customize which gear I could be in, unlike the Mission X. So drifting was made a little bit easier, and it is hard to drift four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. It's I haven't done it in a while, so it's kind of a learning curve for me. But I will say it does handle a lot better drifting than the Mission X. The Mission X was pretty horrendous. Now, with that drift test being done, it was quite short due to the fact that I couldn't really drift the cars. I was kind of struggling considering that they are both all wheel drive. So now we're going to do the test track, or the track test, sorry. And it's going to be at Goodwood. Normally, with these track tests, we go around the Goodwood circuit and see which one is faster than the other. And that's pretty much about it. Once that is done, the video will be over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this next segment, as it got very head to head here, I will say. It was very competitive for the most part. Alrighty, here we go with our first race track test with the 918 around Goodwood. First, we have the big straight, but then we have to be very careful when coming into the corners, braking really hard. You can see right there, I was somehow able not to screw it up. So as we continue on to the next big straightaway, we have to be careful with these corners too, because they just come up out of nowhere, and we can really go through them as fast as we want. And then another corner right up here. I'm not sure what this turn is called, but with this one, I actually have to be careful because then another left turn comes up, and I can take that relatively fast as we go on into the next straight where I have this really big breaking point right about here. And now that we have come halfway across the track, this car has kept up a really good pace so far, and I'm really satisfied with it. No complaints here, no mess ups or anything as we go down this big straight here. I really like the acceleration. It's actually pretty insane. It's kind of hard to do it around the Nürburgring, driving this car with its acceleration. Coming up here into the final turn, straight down here, into the last chicane, up into the finish line. And the 918 had a very, very impressive time right here and across the line. Now let's get it on with the Mission X. Here we go with the Mission X. Now, with this car, it was extremely hard to really try not to crash while braking and then accelerating. So I had to be extra careful with this down the big straight and breaking into the first corner. I really almost overshot that turn as I went a little bit into the grass there, but it's okay. Continuing on with the next big straight, and I kind of struggled to turn with the car without it, feeling like it was going to lose control or that I was going to overshoot a little bit. But nevertheless, still a really fast car overall. I was able to take these turns relatively fast, not as fast as the 918 coming down into our first turn with the big braking zone, and it really handled smoothly for the most part. I went a little bit on the outside for a little bit, but it wasn't all that bad. Continuing on with the next big straight here, trying to see if we could hit our top speed, which was easily achievable at this rate. And then coming on a brake until the final turn. Yeah, I really overshot that a little bit. Coming on to the final chicane,
And this was a really quick lap, so I'm going to reveal the times in a second as they were somewhat close in a way. So with these two cars, they were very similar in time, except the 918 was a little bit behind on the other than the Mission X. The Mission X had a time of I think 110 around the track, and the 918 got close to somewhere around a minute and 30 seconds. So you can clearly see the disadvantages. Although, however, I would say that this race was rather unfair considering that the Mission X's all electric drivetrain system, it can put out 1400, almost 1400 wheel horsepower, and it's pretty fast around the track, and it has better handling characteristics than the 918. I would say it wasn't really all that fair considering that it is an electric car and it's quick, but it's not fast. The 918 had the clear advantage of the top speed, as seen in the top speed test earlier. It managed to hit 220, which was very surprising to me. And the Mission X only had a measly 206. So, other than that, they're really good cars. But if I had to go with one, I would go with the 918, as it is clearly an obvious, more enthusiast pick over an Mission X because that car is all electric. But the 918 is a V8 with a hybrid, so it's much more fun to drive, in my opinion. Just the violent acceleration, especially driving it across the Nurburgring, was pretty. It was pretty cool, but took me a few tries before I got it right. Other than that, I think the Mission X is good. It feels like driving a Porsche, but it's not 100% there. It doesn't really give off that Porsche experience. The Taycan, in my opinion, kind of does it better, but the Mission X is not really all that there, really, in terms of just the driving experience overall. I like the design. I like the interior. It's really nice on the inside, but I just wish it wasn't all electric. If Porsche put a V8 in a hybrid system just like the 918, then yes, it would be pretty much acceptable. But I feel like that with this new Mission X, it's just not cutting it like the 918 was. And it's kind of sad because the F80 is a V6 and the McLaren W1 is still a hybrid V8. So clearly, the only one who's really doing it correctly is McLaren. But maybe if Porsche kind of hit the brakes on that project and just went back to the drawing board. Maybe put a hybrid V8 in there. It would pretty much be golden. It would be a really good car, but I just feel like it's not really all there in far as Porsche standards. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you do enjoyed this video, please like it. I don't expect you to subscribe, but if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing. But on that note, thank you for watching this video. And on other notes, I revealed my list of Car of the Year 2025 as I have adjusted some of the rules for the this year's Car of the Year. So be sure to check out the full lineup on my Instagram highlights. I will link that in the description below. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, like the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.